Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in action. The Flex Network is here. I am Flex Mike. You can find me on Twitter at FlexMike11. To the side of me is my main man, Cowboy Cam at Cowboy Cam11 on Twitter. Cowboy Cam, what's up? Say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in.
For sure. And below us is a creature that is normally the SnowMan. Is there a creature below me that cares to introduce him or herself?
Oh, yes. This is the Lord of Football. I have taken over the snowman's position because it is dire that I come here on this week in October.
I can't breathe.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, Lord of Football. We need the snowman back. We got to talk some football tonight. We got a lot of things to discuss. There's some COVID outbreaks. There's yet another Cowboys dysfunctional week that we got to discuss. Another Seahawks win we need to discuss. Cam, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into some recaps real quick.
One second.
Oh, we got to get him
It's
back.
me. I'm back. We back, fam.
All right. Let's get it. Let's do this.
And we are Sunday Night Football in America is where Snow is. He's looking forward to Sunday night.
Oh yeah.
And just like a lot of people are, so we have, let's see here. We have some things that we need to discuss. There was a lot of crazy things that went down in week 4, but before we get started on that, I want to give some much-deserved props to my man Cam, who beat me this week. This is why we do the tiebreaker, predict the score. He beat me in the Packers game with a closer score. We had the same amount of picks, but I gambled a little bit with the Patriots and the who were they playing? The Chiefs. And I came up short. It was kind of looking tight there for a second, but they pulled away in the second half. So Cam, this is your moment to gloat.
Whoa, man! What do I keep trying to tell you guys? You. This is specifically to Flex Mike. You thought last season that you were just this big time guy. These predictions, but I'm here to tell you, brother. There's a new sheriff in town. All right, there's a new sheriff in town. I run the predictions, okay? And I took a few gambles last week. A lot of these teams are letting me down, and I took some gambles last week. But I'm just gonna let you know, this week I plan on winning by a lot. Not even no more tiebreaker. I plan on running the show from here on out, brother.
Okay, and you know what? I'll say this. I'll give you your props, but you could have actually beaten me just clean with no tiebreaker. But you and the man below me, the snowman, decided that you were both going to put any type of trust, faith, confidence, anything in the New York Jets. So I will allow both of you to, say anything you want to say about that and what was in your brains.
That is madness. That game was madness.
Snow, do you have anything to say to defend yourself?
Last week was just crazy. I mean, again, another 8-7 week for the top 2 upstairs. Be thinking I'm down in the basement right now, but I mean, just a lot of crazy games, to say the least. It was just so crazy. A lot of fun, a lot of crazy.
I wasn't expecting.
You know what? I got some things to talk about with somebody's, lovely team that we need to get into very quickly, because I got something for this one right here.
Let's go.
Tell you what, I'm gonna run through the scores real quick, because I feel like today we're gonna spend a little bit of time talking about the Cowboys, because my was that just a crazy wild game. But let me run through the scores real quick, and we can go through there. let's see here. Week 4. Week 4 in the National Football League. Snow, take us through the first couple games while I get my page here loaded.
So the first, of course, we had Thursday Night Football. Denver beating them Jets 37-28. Sunday, we had the Chargers just getting extinguished by them swashbucklers down in Tampa Bay 38-31. Miami proving that there is a Houston problem right now because them fish boys rounded up them Texans in bad fashion 31-23. Indianapolis taking on Chicago. Indy picking up the victory 19-11 on them Bears. The Saints heading on up to Detroit City and just jamming out to Detroit City Rock, baby, because they win 35-29. Jacksonville losing it that much by them dang Bengals. My always, never pick again Bengals. 33-25 for Cincy. AZ gets thrashed by the Panthers in Carolina 31-21. And of course, the Seahawks just bending and not breaking again on them fish boys, the Dolphins. Or sorry, I was mean about Minnesota. It was Minnesota that was beating up on Houston. That's what I meant to say.
Seattle
definitely
Minnesota.
The fish boys. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Fish boys get destroyed by the Seahawks 31-23. You might want to hang your head in shame there, Mr. Dallas, because the dog pound bit you 49-38. Baltimore smacking the whatchamacallits 31-17. The Rams taking down the Giants 17-9 in a low scoring game. It was a trash game. Monday night, we had a doubleheader for Monday Night Football. We had the Patriots taking on them KC Chiefs and KC. KC pulls out the victory 26-10. And then we had Buffalo taking on them Raiders down in the desert of Las Vegas. Buffalo picking out a victory by 7, 30-23. Sunday Night Football, we had the Eagles taking on the Niners by the Bay. And for Philly, and this literally just a crippled, destructive teams that we had on Sunday Night Football, Philly pulls out the 5-point win, 25-20. And then the actual Monday Night Football game that was on the docket, Atlanta taking on them Green Bay Packers on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. And Green Bay was lighting it up on them Atlanta Dirty Birds because they pull out with a 30-16 victory. And that is your week of the scores.
So a lot of interesting things happened there. I want to talk about a couple of things. Number one, week 4 saw a lot of crazy things. You saw the Green Bay Packers really kind of shut down the Falcons, didn't allow them to really get much going. They couldn't get in the end zone to save their life. Dwayne Haskins actually coming off of a career day, throwing for 314. Yeah, they got blew out 31-17, and it wasn't a good game, but 314 passing yards for him. That's a high. Terry McLaurin had 118 receiving. And then we hear today that Dwayne Haskins is actually being benched for Kyle Allen. And Cam, I wanted to get your opinion on this because, the Washington football team, they are a divisional opponent who just last week was in first place.
Yep.
So let's talk about just that team in general. So Dwayne Haskins benched after only 8 professional starts. Okay. Some of those, 4 of those coming from last season, late in the season, right? Give me your opinions on that, kind of how, like where you thought Dwayne Haskins' career was going to kind of go, if you thought he was going to be successful or if you kind of expected this.
No, I think he's still going to be successful in the NFL. Get him out of Washington. Like, I'm tired of it. The guy has, like you said, he's only started 8 games. 8 games. That's it. He's only started 8 games, and he's literally gotten better every single game. Like, you can see the progression in him getting better with not many weapons. Like, I love what Washington has, but they're not ready yet. And it seems like as if Ron Rivera is trying to speed up things. And plus, I mean, they did trade for Kyle Allen. So which means Washington has picked Kyle Allen over Cam Newton, basically, because Ron Rivera kind of picked, I mean, it happened down in with the Panthers. They picked Kyle Allen basically over Cam Newton as well. So it's a head scratcher to me because I really have a lot of faith in Dwayne Haskins. And so if I'm Dwayne Haskins, I'm like, get me. Hey, SnowMan, can you play that? Get me out of here. Can you play that for me?
Oh, you mean this?
Get me out of here!
Literally, that's what I would
Yes.
do. Like if I'm Dwayne Haskins, that's just it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got one of our guys here on the Flex Network saying the Washington football team must be steaming in the locker room for them to pull their young starter. Do you want to do better or worse, you think? LOL. Tank for Lawrence in Washington? Question mark.
No,
I
don't
mean,
think-
in theory, maybe, but I think that the Jets are accidentally tanking. They're just not good, and so they're tanking, and they're going to be taking over that number 1 spot. And I think maybe they're a little bit closer to taking Lawrence than people realize. But that's the unfortunate truth with that. But Snow, I wanted to say a couple of things about this Washington team. When we talk about offensive weapons, out of 32 teams in the NFL, what position do you think the Washington football team offensive weapons rank out of 32 teams?
I would probably say maybe 28, maybe 29.
Okay, Cam, what do you think?
32.
That is correct, sir. 32 out of 32. And for those of us who aren't the best at math, that is in the NFL, that is what we call last place. They have the worst ranked when you're talking running back, receiver, tight end, just guys that can make plays, guys that can do things with the ball in their hands. You have to remember, they had some backup tight ends that got hurt. Did you know that the tight end right now that's playing for them is a converted quarterback? Did you know that Terry McLaurin is the only viable threat in their receiving core? And did you know that all of their running backs are undersized? I bet right now they're wishing they didn't cut Adrian Peterson and then he eventually signs with the Lions. That's something to think about. So little bit of sympathy for them, but not a whole lot because it's afflicted. And also Dan Snyder, head coach or owner of the Washington football team, his son went to high school with went to college with Dwayne Haskins. So that is how they are connected, and probably a pretty big reason why they drafted him. Just so you guys know that.
Yeah, I think this whole situation just, with Washington has been proven the fact that it just is just bad down there. And
I'm gonna assume Ron Rivera has a plan, and I think Ron Rivera believes Kyle Allen is his guy. That's what it seems like to me. Like he's taken Kyle Allen under his wings in Carolina, and so I believe like moving forward, I think that's who he's gonna want to go with for his tenure in Washington.
Right. I'm there with you, Cam. I think Ron Rivera is a great coach. I think he's a leader of men. He's proving a lot this season while going through chemo and being the head coach at the same time, all while dealing with all this COVID-19 stuff. So I think there's a lot to be said about the man that is Ron Rivera. He actually had the Panthers for a lot of years being very competitive, being some perennial NFC powerhouses. It's not his fault that, Luke Kuechly had all those concussions and couldn't stay on the field and all that stuff. So, there's a lot of things to be said there. But let's get to the game that I've really I wanted to talk about this game. I want to talk and Cam, I'm going to save the best for last here because I want to say I'm going to let Snow go first on this one because he's got a few things to say, and then I want to hear you, and then I have a couple questions for you, Cam.
Gotcha.
Snow, let's go ahead and start as we talk about the Browns. The Browns beating the Cowboys 49-38.
You are letting me go first. How kind of you, sir. You know what? Truth be told, Mike, before you mute yourself, and I want to get a quick little question out of the way. Do you is it just me, or is everyone in down there in Texas is a hospitable place? Am I right? Am I right up there, guys? It's a hospitable place, right?
That's very accurate.
Well, they must be very hospitable because they allowed the Cleveland Browns to enter their end zone freely. Just the entire game. I mean, obviously, you let them score what 49, 48, 49-38. Good God, my Lord. I mean, come on.
Houston, we have a problem.
That is just so funny to me that you allowed the Cleveland Browns to just essentially walk into your end zone and score 49 points on you guys. One shy of 50. But the funny thing is, you guys had a chance.
Yes.
You had a chance to redeem yourself. You had a chance to redeem yourself and take the lead and erase this embarrassing moment of letting the Browns whoop your ass. You had a chance, but then you onside kick, and one play later, just a sheer epic. Good God. Can I get some help over here on what that basically just happened with these guys?
Oh no! We suck again!
That is just I got nothing else for you because I mean you guys must be calling the Texas Rangers right now because Alice is having a problem right now because Alice, because you guys ain't got no D. You guys, looking for it. Like, is it over there by the cookies? Is it in the pantry right now? Is it in Cleveland because they stole it from you?
I like that one. I like that.
Guys, I mean, Dallas, come on, man. I mean, the last time that the Cleveland Browns beat you guys was 1994, December 10th. You lost to them 19-14. It's been that long, guys. How you guys can't hold the Cleveland Browns, the literal proverbial dumpster fire child of the entire NFL that had to leave to go to Baltimore to get an expansion team to come back, and they still suck. Help me to help you. Help me to help you. Help me to help you.
Exactly. Snow, let's address a couple comments here. Clifton Smith here says the number 1 rushing attack against the number 32 defense, which once again, if you're bad at math, that's the worst defense in the league. Why is that surprising? It's not surprising, but when we talk about teams that need wins badly, the Dallas Cowboys in this situation was not one of those teams, right? Because they know that their defense is so bad. And we talked about this last week. The Cowboys could still mess around and be a 10-win team because of the strength of their division. It's so bad that they could mess around and be a 10-win team.
Dak, of course, is a proven right now. He is a proven top 10 quarterback. He can do it with the offense. You got Zeke. Feed him, obviously, but of course,
They tried. They tried. It just didn't work. It did not work.
It did not work.
Broke. Cleveland came into there looking like, help me from Rocky 3, the Russian. Or the Soviet.
Ivan Drago.
Thank you. Drago. He came in and just looked at the defense and said, I must break you. And he broke them. See ya.
Okay. One more
for me.
One comment here. Christopher here says defense cost us that entire game. Dak put the team on his back and drove them back into contention. All for this, sorry, ASS defense to continue making mistakes and just being uncompetitive.
I'm gonna
let Cam talk real quick, but I want to say one thing. Let's pull a couple of stats from this game, if you will. Okay, when you see a team dominate in the way that the Browns seem to dominate, you would expect a pretty stat-heavy day, right? So let's talk about a couple of things, right? You got head coach Mike McCarthy going against head coach Kevin Stefanski. AT&T Stadium, the stage is set. You got the most underachieving team in the NFL over the last 3 years, the Cleveland Browns, with all the talent in the world. They just can't get a single thing. They can't get a single thing right. They're doing everything wrong. You're talking about a team that scored 49 points against the Dallas Cowboys. Did you know that Baker Mayfield only had 19 passing attempts or 19 completions on 30 attempts for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns? He was sacked twice, right? So you might ask yourself, how did we get to 49 points? If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you would say things like that, right? Jarvis Landry actually had 1 completion for 37 yards. It happened to be a touchdown pass and was an absolute dart to Odell Beckham in the end zone. Dude, he just looked like a killer on that play. It was ridiculous. But let's talk about something that's a little more alarming, okay? When you're the Dallas Cowboys, you're losing this game. For most of the game, it started out 7-0. Cowboys come back 7-7, 14-7, and then it just gets out of control. I was watching the Seahawks game because they're on at the same time. I flip back and it's 34-14 or something like that at that time. And I'm like, what in the world is going on, right? But listen, everyone wants to talk about how great Dak Prescott is. He has all the ability in the world, don't get me wrong. But from this point forward until the Dallas Cowboys, the rest of the team outside of Dak Prescott and a couple of receivers show up and play games and actually do what they're capable of doing in non-garbage time situations, I'm going to refer to Dak Prescott as Stat Prescott, because you need to understand something real quick. Dak Prescott had 41 completions, not attempts, completions on 58 attempts. He almost threw the ball 60 times in one game. He had 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and the interception wasn't really his fault. If you were to watch the film on it, it was a slant. Amari Cooper was in a window, and he thought that it was closed, so he moved up to the next level. Dak threw it, just a slight miscommunication there. There were 0 Cleveland turnovers in this game. Understand that. Cleveland ran the ball down Dallas's throat, and there wasn't a single thing Dallas could do about it. I mean, they had 300. Help me out here. They had
307.
307. 307.
280 to 85 in rushing
Exactly.
yards.
So
And-
they had twice as many attempts, but also like way more yards. So even if their attempts were the same, they still would have doubled Dallas's yards, more than doubled, actually.
And Mike, here's the what you were saying about Dak. 41 completed passes out of 58. He threw for 502 yards for 4 TDs and a touchdown. As a team, total yards just in passing yards, 481 to Cleveland's 201. Dallas's total yards was 566 to Cleveland's 508. And Cleveland steamrolled the boys flatline.
God.
Cam, we're gonna go to you real quick, but I just want to, and I'm gonna let you go, but I just want to address this comment real quick. Clifton Smith here says, if they win, you wouldn't call those garbage yards, and I completely disagree with that. No, I disagree with that, because think about it like this. Look at the win that you have against the Atlanta Falcons, right? The Atlanta Falcons got up so big where the defense relaxes, they get into a prevent, or they get into a deep cover 3 or whatever type of, defense there, and keep everything in front of you, running zone primarily. You're not letting anything get over your head, stuff like that. I still consider those Atlanta Falcons yards and touchdowns and stuff garbage time, because Atlanta was like, we're up big. We're not going to bring the same pressure we brought. We're just trying to coast to get this game over with. And Cleveland did the same thing. But I'm also saying that Dallas has all the potential in the world offensively to compete with anybody, for that matter. And so it's not an insult when I say garbage time. I'm saying garbage time based off of the lead that the opposing team has in the situation. It is garbage time. If you're up 3 scores, you're not blitzing. You're not sending extra guys. You're not playing tight. You're not pressing. You're giving them space. You're whatever, And so Dak's a guy that if you're going to give him something, he's going to take it. And so he's going to take it every time. So there's no issue with that, and there's no insult with it either, because I think CeeDee Lamb's great, Michael Gallup's great, Amari Cooper's great, Dak's good. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like and act like he was doing that in the most pressured situation. The pressure was off of him because it's looked at in a way where it's like, oh, he can't come back from that. And then Dak comes out and drops 24 points on you in the fourth quarter alone. So he has the ability, but here's the thing, and I'm gonna get to this after. I want you to, all you Dallas Cowboys fans, I want you to think about your coach. Think about the coach you had, and then think about the coach you have now. Because I have an important question. But before we get to that question, Cam, I want to know how you're feeling when it's 7-0. Then it goes to 7-7. Then it goes to 14-7. You're probably thinking, oh, okay, we figured some things out. They got some weapons and all that stuff, but they're not. This isn't the Cowboys team we've seen the last couple of weeks. So give me your thoughts on it.
All right. So when it was 7-0, I was like, CD got a touchdown. Then it was 7-7. And that's when they hit us with the reverse. And I said, instantly when I saw the reverse pass, I said, it's going to be a long day. I knew it was going to be a long day, because we couldn't stop. Anytime Cleveland wanted the edge, they wanted to seal the edge. They wanted to run the ball to the edge, run a reverse. They got it. Whatever Cleveland wanted, they got it. And it was just clear as day. So when it's 14-14, I knew Myles Garrett was going to make an appearance. I knew he was going to make a sighting. Hey, it's Myles Garrett. And he happened to be on a rookie offensive tackle that was undrafted, that I was screaming should never be in this situation, be in the game. He should have never been there. And he gives up a strip sack fumble. And, of course, this terrible defense And it's so funny to me. People go, well, the Cowboys should help out the defense and not turn the ball over. Well, now you're asking the Cowboys defense to be the Cowboys offense to be perfect. I don't need my Cowboys offense to be perfect. I need my defense just to be average. Just average. Not perfect, just average, dude. Like, you ain't got to be the best, but just be in the middle. Off these turnovers, instead of giving up 7 points, please just give up a field goal. Just give up a field goal or get a stop. You don't have to give up 7 points. And this is coming from a guy who plays defense. Hey, if your offense turns the ball over, it is what it is. It's football. It's just, but you cannot afford to give up a touchdown right after that. And so, no, I'm not going to say Dak Prescott stats are garbage time stats because Cleveland was trying. Dak does this thing where he goes hurry up offense, where he puts all the pressure's on him. He's like, I got all the play calling here. And it kept that Cleveland Browns defensive line in. So those guys were gassed. Like, Dak's like, y'all are going to come chase us, and we're going to show you why our offense is so deadly. And for us to get within 3 points, Snow, like you said, 3 points with 4 minutes left to go in the game, just get one stop. Baker Mayfield is nervous. Baker was shook. He was like, yo, this cannot be happening. And then we give him a 50-yard touchdown run to Odell. Like,
on one play.
Just one play. And that is the epitome of the Dallas Cowboys' first 4 games. Like, we're right there, and it's just defense.
Cam, real quick, I wanted to say something because, I live in the DFW area just like you do. I've seen on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all these places. I want to address the garbage time thing, and then I want to address the blame that's falling on certain players. Garbage time, right? Garbage time has this negative connotation, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah. I don't mean that Cleveland wasn't trying, because they were definitely still trying. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I don't think that they were, like I said, they weren't blitzing. They weren't doing some of the things that they were doing before. But without a doubt, did Dak Prescott have them tired? Absolutely.
Oh, dude,
there's no question about that. DBs were like, they hands on knees. Linebackers were like, what the heck's going on? D lineman's like, can we get a stop? Because I'm sick and tired of, we ran 6 plays straight. This is getting real annoying. And Dak knows he's down by 24 or 30 or whatever it is, so he knows he's got to do a couple of things. But the other thing that I wanted to address is I saw a lot on social media this week, a lot of blame for Jalen Smith, right? A lot of blame for Jalen Smith on that play that Odell Beckham scored, the 50-yard rush, blah, blah, blah. And then there was some blame in the backfield of that play. Aldon Smith should have had Odell. I'm like, dude, you need to understand, we're talking about pristine athletes, right? Odell Beckham is a good 100 pounds lighter than Aldon Smith. There is no way that Aldon Smith should tackle him. All Aldon Smith has to do in that situation is force him to picking a side of the field that he needs to go on, which he did his job. He almost tackled the dude. And then you look downfield, right? And then there's DBs, there's other linebackers, there's defensive linemen. They're trying to push. At one point, I saw 3 Dallas Cowboys blocking one. I believe it was Jarvis Landry or a tight end or something out of bounds. I'm like, why are you blocking that small receiver when you should be trying to tackle Odell? None of this makes sense right now. And then all these Cowboys fans who grew up hearing their parents say, yeah, we got this, we got 5 rings, blah, blah, blah. We're great. We're America's team, all that stuff. Well, guess what? America's team hasn't done a single thing since the 90s that makes you feel like they're good, right? And part of that's Jason Garrett's fault. But understand this. Jalen Smith, in no defensive scheme, in no situation ever, should be the closest man to tackling Odell Beckham. You want to understand why? He was on the opposite side of the field. He should have not even been one of the top 3 guys over there, but he displayed his speed, his athletic ability to get over there and really almost make the tackle. But, a lot of blame needs to come off of Aldon Smith, needs to come off of guys like DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence leads the team in pressures, but all anyone's talking about is how many sacks he doesn't have. Well, guess what? There's 3 other dudes on that D-line that aren't doing a single thing. So you could say what you want about them. Yeah, Everson Griffin, non-existent. Supposed to be this big free agent signing, non-existent. Trust me, Seattle wanted him. I wanted him on Seattle's D-line. We need the help. But at the same time, all these Cowboys fans who really don't understand football, have never played football past a middle school or a high school level, need to pump the brakes, and they need to understand what they're looking at because they are not watching what they think they're watching. Jalen Smith is not responsible for making that tackle. Snow, go ahead. I see you itching.
You know what? Just to basically just sum up for how Dallas Cowboys should be, thinking, saying how great we are. There is a very, very tall tale quote that I kind of want to play for you right now about the Dallas Cowboys. And you might know him because he's on ESPN every day.
Oh, my gosh.
Just wait. They will not let you down. They are an accident waiting to happen.
Yep. Every week, guys, just assume that it's an accident waiting to happen, and it happened this week with the Browns.
It did. And also, I want to dive into this. Hey, Flex Mike, I appreciate you breaking down that reverse play. No, Jalen Smith should have never really even been in that position if Joe Thomas is making a tackle, if one of the corners is making a tackle, if the safety's making a tackle. Like, he came from the opposite side of the field. He was the only person coming from the backside, which is insane. Because you work a drill where, hey, if angles, basically, this is the angle you should take to get to the ball carrier. People work this drill in practice, and Jalen Smith was the only one in position. So, man, I appreciate you hitting on that. And so I also want to dive into this. Xavier Woods, our starting safety, came out and said, you can't expect players to play 70 snaps and go 100% every snap. And I'm like, bro, what are you? I would kill to be in the NFL going 100% every play. There's guys who want this opportunity. And you're saying you can't expect somebody to go 100% for man, bullshit. Excuse my French, because it really irritated me. There's guys who want to do what you do, and they don't get the shot to do that. They would kill to go 100% every snap, balls to the wall, and it's like you're taking it for granted. And I had hinted on this. I believe it was Tuesday night when I did the video. Nobody holds these Cowboy players like accountable. Like when Zeke fumbles, Zeke just goes to the sideline. Nobody says anything to Zeke. When a receiver messes up on a route, nobody says anything to these guys, and you can see it. It's just they're in this stardom basically, and we got to get them out of this stardom. Like, you guys haven't done anything to be thinking, to have the height that you think you have. Go ahead, Snow.
Before we completely shut this whole thing down with Dallas, I just want to this is the last part of how they're not being held accountable. Oh, trust me, I believe they're now being held accountable because if you look at the bottom of the ticker, last week, you were number 2 behind them, Washington, whatchamacallits. But now it seems that the cheesesteaks are leading you guys and the whatchamacallits. So it's going to be a very interesting, week coming up for Dallas. And what's going to make this worse? And I think what it could get worse.
if we lose to the Giants, I'm gonna burn Arlington down.
let me say
Giants
let me
jump
ask
you.
one question here. Let me ask one question here, Cam, and this will shut it down. I just want to hear your response, Cam, because I tried to get my point across when you went live on the Flex Network. I believe it was Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah.
But I want to say this. I have he's probably he's one of my best friends. And he's a diehard Packers fan, right? And he's the guy that I really talk football with because he understands a lot of things. I don't hate the Packers. He doesn't hate the Seahawks, so it's all good. But one of the things that he said, and I told him this, I said, hey, what is the difference between Jason Garrett and Mike McCarthy? He's like, well, what do you mean? I said, what's the difference? What makes those two guys different? And he was kind of like, well, I don't really know. I said, Mike McCarthy was viewed in a very positive light as being one of the best coaches in the NFL for a lot of years. And you know what? The only difference was Aaron Rodgers. If you gave Mike McCarthy some of the atrocious defenses that Tony Romo had to share a locker room with, Mike McCarthy would be viewed in the same light that Jason Garrett was viewed in. And so now we kind of fast forward a few years and you have Mike McCarthy fired from Green Bay, no longer with Aaron Rodgers. I bet right about now he's probably wishing he was with Aaron Rodgers again. And you have Mike McCarthy in Dallas and Jason Garrett, still not that good of a coach because look at him in New York. They're struggling to score 10 points, So we look at that. So Cam, I ask you, do you have an answer for what the difference is between Jason Garrett and Mike McCarthy outside of Aaron Rodgers? What separates those two on a power ranking system of NFL football coaches?
I'm glad you and I had seen your question on the on last night. Last night during the live stream, and I didn't have an answer for you in the moment. And then I thought back. I remember when the Packers went 15-1. I believe it was 2011, 2012, one of those. They went 15-1, and they had the worst defense. They had one of the worst defenses. And Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers overcame that. And now I'm looking as Mike McCarthy's supposed to have this leadership about him. He's supposed to be a leader of men. He's supposed to be better at situational football. This is what we just needed Dallas from their 8-8 season to be better situationally with the football. That's it. We had so many key games come down to one last drive and Jason Garrett make a questionable call. And it's plain as day, like, Jason, this is way above your head. And I can say playoff success, that kind of separates Mike McCarthy from Jason Garrett. But it's not much, dude. As you can see, it's not much. But I don't want to get overly critical because it is a new coaching staff to a new team during COVID. A lot of teams with new coaching staffs aren't necessarily doing great. So it takes a minute to implement your philosophy on your team. But right now, a lot of these guys just look unmotivated, and it's I want to put that on Mike McCarthy, but I've seen it over the years. I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan all my life, and so I've seen it. Guys get paid and they stop producing. I've seen it. It's just like you get complacent. So I'm gonna give Mike some time to turn this. I'm gonna give him some time to turn it around because I believe he can. But you're right. At this moment, not much separates him from Jason Garrett over the past. What would you say about the past 5 years? They've basically been the same coach.
Yeah, I would think that.
Yeah, about the past 5 years, they've basically been the same guy.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And I think there's a little bit to be said for Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett was a motivator of men. He knew his players very well. If you've watched any pregame Dallas or postgame Dallas, you've seen or any practices, DallasCowboys.com constantly is streaming their practices for a little bit of time before it gets into the season. They do that, and you would always see Jason Garrett playing catch with Dak, being in quarterback accuracy competitions with Dak, because Jason Garrett was a quarterback. He did back up not Tony Romo, Troutman, and so he understands the quarterback's mind. And so I'll leave it at that. It's just maybe a little something to chew on. Think about it. The only thing I would say is just, McCarthy was on 105.3 The Fan, and they referred to DeMarcus Lawrence as Tank Lawrence, because everyone who knows him knows that Tank is his nickname. Mike McCarthy did not understand that. And so I think we need to mute yourself real quick. And so let's go ahead and move on to the week 5 predictions. So let's go first up. Buccaneers at Bears. Thursday night football. Snow, who do you got?
All right, let's get into picks. Let's see. We're Tampa and Chicago. We're going to Soldier Field. And you know what? While I can say for sure that Chicago looked okay this past week, they looked, keyword. Oh,
Okay.
Keyword. Okay. But being that Mr. Brady is 7-0 on Thursday night, and he is rolling right now. He's looking great down there with rolling it with that ship, and the Bears have been doing decent, the key word. I am going to be swinging the sword. I'm riding with the pirate ship. Give me Tampa Bay.
Okay, Cam, what about you?
Give me Tampa Bay as well. I'm gonna take Tampa over Chicago.
Okay, I will take Tampa as well. I know Tom Brady's is without a few of his top receivers, but there is. I don't think Chicago actually has a quarterback, so I'm gonna roll on from there. Next game, Sunday, Jacksonville against Houston. 12 o'clock. Snow, who do you got?
Which game we doing? I was looking at something.
Jacksonville and Houston.
Okay. So Jacksonville taking on them Houston Texans. Right now, Jacksonville coming off their loss this past week, sitting at 1-3. However, Houston's having a big old problem right now. Literally, you just fired your GM and your head coach, same position, for Mr. Bill O'Brien, and he gone. So you have an interim coach. You have to look for a new GM, and Houston right now.
Houston, we have a problem.
It's a problem down there. I'm not going with the Texans. They're 0-4. They may have won the last 10 out of the 12 games that they played against Jacksonville, but I am rolling with that. And them Jags.
That's right. I don't blame you there for a second. Go ahead and mute yourself, Snow. Yeah, I don't blame you there for a second. I'm gonna take Jacksonville here as well. And Snow, I need you to keep track for us this week. I know you do every week anyway, but let's go ahead and keep track. But I'm gonna take Jacksonville, and I think that I don't know what it is. Something's a little wrong with Houston. You could see a spark in Houston, and this was a tough one for me. I really wanted to go with Houston, but I just don't think that Houston has it for whatever reason. And they could easily prove us wrong without a doubt, because they have the talent. Will Fuller showed up last week, but he could come out in fantasy football wise and drop 6 points this week. And even though last week he dropped 20 something, but it's a real possibility. But I think I'm gonna have to roll with Jacksonville on this one. Go ahead, Cam. Who you got in this one? Jacksonville and Houston.
Man, this is because I'm hearing so many things about Bill O'Brien and like the players not wanting to basically play for him. Like, hey, he got in arguments with J.J. Watt and the player revolt, so could it have been just the players not wanting to play for Bill O'Brien? Possibly. So I want to go out on a limb here. I'm gonna take Houston. This will give me this will let me know if we should have faith in Houston for the rest of the season, basically. Give me Houston.
Yeah, I understand that. It's really a coin toss. This is as close to 50-50 as it gets. Jacksonville's in these games. They really shouldn't be winning these games. They have offense, and they have a little bit of defense, but you've seen the offseason. They really sold anything that anything that wasn't on a rookie deal, they seem to have sold. So let's go ahead and move to the next game. We have the Carolina Panthers taking on the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. Atlanta's favored by 2. The over-under is 54. Cam, I'm gonna start with you on this one because you've kind of been the truther when it comes to the Panthers this season so far. So who do you got in this one?
Look here, the Panthers are stressing me out because they've won 2 straight against 2 teams I didn't think they were supposed to beat. And then when I did pick them the first 2 games, they lost the games. So I think Teddy Bridgewater's back though. I think the Panthers made a smart decision in taking Teddy Bridgewater, and hopefully I hope he stays a Panther. I hope he's a Panther for life. So yeah, give me the Panthers over the Falcons. I just don't like what's going on in Atlanta at all.
Right, totally understand. You know what? And Atlanta's very hurt. They're hurt at DB. They're hurt at safety. Even their backup is hurt. They're down to like their 4th safety, a guy that they had to convert from another position. You're talking Robbie Anderson. You're talking DJ Moore. I'm actually looking for a very big game for Robbie Anderson this week. I think DJ Moore will kill him in the slot. I actually have the Carolina Panthers in this one big. I'm not going to give you a score because I hadn't really thought about it to that degree, but I'll say that Carolina Panthers take care of business by at least 2 scores.
Oh yeah.
Snow.
They're hot
what
right
about
now.
you?
They're hot.
Yeah, right now Matty Ice has just been melting in ATL. He is not. I swear to God, he has not been the same since Super Bowl. Giving up the Super Bowl in that fashion to Brady and the Pats. He has that, what I would like to call on the wrestling show, he's kind of had that Fiend, after effect where he's changed. He's experienced the Fiend and it's like changed him. And that defense is not helping with him. So give me them Carolina Cats right now. Give me Carolina right now, as they
Alex Torres here says Carolina by 6 or by SnowMan chicken nuggets. You know what, you guys? Alex Torres is here in Texas, but that doesn't mean a single thing. He can PayPal you some money. He can Venmo you some money. Venmo you. What's that Wendy's got? That 4 for $4. You can Venmo you $4, and you can get you a drink, some fries, and some chicken nuggets. Get the whole shebang there. So that's a bet. Carolina by 6 at least. So if Atlanta doesn't even have to win, if they just come in under 6, then he owes you some nuggets. Okay, that's a bet. We'll keep that bet. Let's go up to the next one. We got Cardinals taking on the Jets. Also at that here in the South in Texas, it's at a noon time slot, 10 a.m. for the Pacific Northwestern people. Cardinals and Jets. We have Arizona favored by 7. Jets are 0-4, 0-2 at home. Cardinals are 2-2. The Cardinals have actually lost 2 straight, but I believe this is where it ends. Arizona favored by 7, over under 47. SnowMan, go ahead. Who you got in this one?
Oh, this is going to be very, very interesting. Cardinals 2-2 right now. The Jets are still on the bottom of the barrel with 0-4, and they have decided to make a quarterback change. Everybody, they have decided to go with Mr. Joe Flacco.
It's not a quarterback change. He's just hurt. Sam Darnold is hurt. He has an AC joint injury in his shoulder.
He's starting.
But it is a change, but it's not a demotion of anything like that. No one in their right mind would start Flacco over Sam Darnold. But go ahead.
But still, Joe Flacco starting his first start since week 8 of 2019. And you know what? While I do think that might help the Jets a smidge help. Maybe a changing quarterback, like, okay, maybe it'll help. However, on the other side of the coin, it's an 0-4 Jets taking on one of the 3-headed monsters over here in the NFC West. So give me them Cactus Boys.
Okay, Cam, who you got in this one?
Give me the Cardinals. I don't trust that Jets defense. We didn't get a chance to talk about that Jets and Denver game. That Jets defense is just, what's the word I want to say?
Atrocious, maybe?
Atrocious. A lot of penalties. They're sloppy. A lot of penalties. Could you imagine losing a game where the starting quarterback throws 3 interceptions and you don't win? Like, the Jets are just bad, dude. Yeah, give me the Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray's gonna have a field day.
Yeah, we're talking about a Jets team that's very depleted. They have a depleted secondary. They have injuries all over the place. Their best players, Jamison Crowder, who is nothing to sneeze at these days because he's the only guy in every defense that plays against him, knows it. Le'Veon Bell is supposed to be coming back to practice this week, so we'll see what happens as far as that goes. But I'm going to take Arizona in this one also. Yeah, Jets are the worst team in the National Football League as we stand today. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Alex Torres says Jets for the upset. Not likely. But if it did happen, I would not be too mad about that because, like I said, they're an NFC West team, and if they lose, that's okay.
Okay, well, hold on. Here's a question for the both of you. Who do you think is going to be the first 0-4 team to get a win? And is it going to be this week?
Ooh.
Because you have them Jets, you have them Texans, you have them Giants, and you have the Falcons.
Yeah, it has to be the Texans.
Yeah, maybe Texans, but also maybe Atlanta. Atlanta has the ability to blow up at any moment because of their offensive firepower. They have Todd Gurley. They have, they have Calvin Ridley, who's just on top of his game right now. It's incredible. They have Hayden Hurst at tight end, who's taking care of business. I mean, they have, they have the offensive firepower. Cam's going to roll with Houston. I'll roll with Atlanta. It is what it is. But let's go ahead, keep it moving. We all took the Cardinals in that one. This week we have the Los Angeles Rams taking on Washington. We are in Landover, Maryland, the home of the Washington football team. Los Angeles Rams favored by 7, over under 45.5. Let's go ahead and start with Cam. Who do you have in this one?
Give me the Rams, but it'll be a really close game. I'm not sure why Vegas is giving these large spreads for these NFC East games. Like, I know our division is bad, but if you've seen the games last week, we're not that bad. But yeah, I think the game will be close. The Washington still has their full defense, so that's nothing to just look past. So yeah, but give me the Rams, but really close game.
Okay, Snow, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, of course, with Washington 1-3, you got the Rams 3-1. I mean, the whatchamacallits train is, just rolling. It's picking up steam here, everybody. But here on the Flex Network, we love the whatchamacallits.
Alex Torres here. He's going in for upsets this week. He thinks the Jets are going to win, and then he's he's got the Washington football team. He says the whatchamacallits, or however you spell it.
Yeah. 5 for him must be upset week for him. We're in week 5 and he's thinking it's upset week. Like college football.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but unfortunately for Mr. Alex, it's going to be a ramming good time in DC because the Rams are just going to ram the whatchamacallits.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I think the Rams are a little bit suspect, but you got to bring a little bit of competition to the table to be able to beat them. I don't think this is a week that happens, even with the quarterback change. There's not enough there. Like I said, 32 out of 32 as far as offensive weapon goes. You got a converted quarterback playing tight end. You got undersized running backs. You got a defense that's beat up. Chase Young, I don't even know if he's playing in this game, but he had went out and hurt himself a little bit. So even if he plays, I wouldn't imagine that he's at 100% there. But let's go ahead and okay, Alex Torres, I'm there with you, dude. I'll tell you what. He says if the whatchamacallits win, y'all owe me chicken nuggets. Deal.
You know what? Yeah, I'll take that deal. Yeah,
that's not an issue. Yeah, I'll buy you some 99-cent. I'll find some chicken nuggets that someone threw in the trash, and you can have them. So how about that?
Wow.
Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's go ahead and move on to Sunday, 3:25 Dallas time. Giants taking on the Cowboys. For the longest time, you get yourself into a situation where you're like, do I want to place any confidence in the Cowboys? Because so far, what they have shown me this year, early in games or in the first half, or really in the first 3 quarters, what they've shown me has not been something that I'm very confident in. But this is the week of big lines. Dallas is favored by 9.5 points, which is about the average amount of points that the Giants score at any given game. The over-under is 54. Cowboy Cam, your Cowboys are 1-3. They're 1-1 at home. Who do you have in this one?
Kind of like last week. I'm going to give you the recipe to beat the Cowboys if you can successfully just run the ball. Like I said, the Browns would do. If you can successfully run the ball, which I think the Giants ran for over 100 yards without Saquon on the Rams. So you know what that means in Dallas terms. It's like a math equation. So if they gave up 100, we're going to give up 200 rushing yards. Got to use the equation for that. But Danny Dimes is a turnover machine, all right? He's a turnover machine. So give me the Cowboys. But I will not be surprised if the Giants score 20 points because our defense is just that bad. But we got to start somewhere.
Okay, Snow?
This is tough. I mean, of course, you have this.
Be patient. Just wait. They will not let you down. They are an accident waiting to happen.
and you have the Giants. I mean, this literally is going to be the deciding, a deciding factor of who is at the bottom of the NFC trash division. And we're already in week 5, and we're already deciding this. Now, I can understand if everyone was a 2-2, and it was a tight race, then the choice might have been a little bit easier. However, the fact that we're seeing this Dallas Cowboy team just gain, literally lead and look like they're going to be good. They squander it, or they are letting teams just walk freely into their end zone, being so courteous to the opposing team, and just saying, hey, we're going to have a cookout in their end zone. Come on in. But this is a tough one. I mean, Dallas has led 7 times out of 313 offensive snaps this season.
Wait, what?
Dallas has had a lead on 7 of their 313 offensive snaps this season.
Say that one more time for the people so they can hear
Dallas has led on 7 times out of 313 offensive snaps.
Thank you, Snow.
This season.
Understand this. Not one of those snaps came in the only win of the year for the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Atlanta Falcons, and they didn't lead for a single second in that game. Not a single second on the clock. And because they were behind. They came back. They kicked. They were even behind when they were getting ready to kick the game-winning field goal. And they made the field goal, so it was enough points for them to jump ahead of the Falcons. So none of that came in week 2 against the Falcons.
No.
So understand that. That is one of the most abysmal stats I've ever heard in my life. It's pathetic. And it's just dude, if I was a Cowboys fan, I would be raging tough. I would mute my mic. I would turn my camera off. I would hard shut down my computer. I would just hold the power button until everything turned off. I would not care about any type of Facebook, YouTube, anything. I don't care if I was live. It would immediately shut down, and that would just be it.
Thank you, Quincy, for the like. But yeah, again, that is just so shockingly with that they've led. Of course, had Atlanta not screw up that play, the Cowboys and the Giants would be tied at 0-4 this season, and it would be a battle of the losing NFC trash.
Oh god!
But since it's not, and it's a 1-3 Cowboys against an 0-4 Giants, and the Giants have looked worse.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, the Giants have looked worse than Dallas, and that's coming from me, who has been bashing this gentleman down here in the basement of Cowboy Nation, who has been suffering for a long time. So I am going with the boys this week.
Okay.
I don't trust the Giants.
Yeah, listen here. I'm with the boys too, because it'd be one thing if the Giants were capable of scoring points. They're not. And so I'm taking the Cowboys, but listen, we got to stop for a second. We got to talk about this. Okay, Alex, I'm so sick of this dude. I'm telling you right now, dude. He's hilarious.
Cut him off.
He says they're gonna win out. Yeah, cut this man off.
Appreciate it, Alex.
He says they're about to go 12-4.
Cut the alcohol consumption, my man. Drink some water. Go outside, take a walk. Get some fresh air, because
you gotta sober up, man.
You are drunk right now.
I mean, I had the Cowboys at 11-5. So he's not that drunk.
12-4.
Well, you have the Cowboys at 11-5. That remains to be seen. You also said that they were going to go 12-4 last season, and they went 8-8.
I didn't think we had 3 losses
So,
so early, though.
right. But listen, let's talk about this, right? The Cowboys are in damage control of all damage controls, right? Because if they lose to the Giants, which I don't think there's a chance in hell that they lose to the Giants,
No.
but if somehow Jason Garrett has the exact formula to beat the Cowboys, then listen, Cam, go ahead, take yourself to a Goodwill or we can go to any type of thrift store. Pick yourself up one of those cheap $2 suitcases, put all your belongings in it, and pack it up for the season because it's time to go home. If the Cowboys lose this week, the season is over. Start tanking, start doing whatever you got to do to get a top 5, top 10 pick because
if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm like, yo, get me out of here ASAP. This is terrible.
yeah, what does he have to stay there for? Okay, I got Dallas, you got Dallas, Snow's got Dallas. Let's keep it rolling. We have the Colts taking on the Browns also in that 325 slot. Indy is favored by 1.5. Indy actually ended the kind of the Chicago Bears little streak, if you want to call that. You thought they were real. I knew they were fake because they have Nick Foles at quarterback and he's not good. He's only good in when he checks in late in games or the Super Bowl for that matter. But the over-under is 46. They're in Cleveland, Ohio. Cowboy Cam, who do you got in this one?
I hate that you went with me first. I needed some more I needed to think about it more. But the Browns are riding so high, but Kareem Hunt's banged up. Give me the Colts. Give me the Colts. Phillip, don't you let me down now. Just run the ball, Phillip. That's all you got to do. Just run it. Jonathan Taylor's been pretty successful. Just run the ball. And don't throw any interceptions, and the Colts get this done.
Right, and I think if I'm recalling correctly, I believe Nick Chubb went to the short-term IR for 3 weeks.
Yep.
So with Kareem Hunt banged up and Chubb being on IR, the Colts are going to do one thing. We're talking about 3 straight weeks where the Colts have held their opponents to less than 14 points. They have a good defense. Darius Leonard playing linebacker for the Colts is the real deal. So let's not think crazy any of that type of stuff. But I think the Colts are going to do something that the Dallas Cowboys could not do last week, which is make Baker Mayfield beat them. Because the Cowboys, if they would have said, "Listen, we're shutting down the run, and we don't think that Baker Mayfield can beat us with his arm," then you would have won that game. But the situation is the Colts actually have the defensive players to be able to shut down that run, especially with Chubb being on IR and Kareem Hunt being injured. They don't have any more players that they could throw out there that could really pose a threat. So I got the Colts in this one. Snow, who do you have?
Cam, who'd you have again?
Colts.
Okay, so it's an Indy for both of you guys. All right. I'm agreeing with you guys that with Chubb getting injured in the Dallas game, he's on short IR for right now. That's going to hurt the run game. And Indy right now is just holding the run game down on the defensive side. They are literally stopping the run game. I mean, they're number 2 in defense right now. Is very good. But there is just something. And you know what? I have this strong feeling that while the Colts have been doing great on the run defense, last week's showing of the Dallas ass whooping, and kind of got me looking at the Cleveland Browns a little bit differently. Now, I'm going to go on the record and I'm going to say I'm not a Cleveland fan because I have stated this many times that, and even Stephen A. Smith can, this quote can even help with the Cleveland Browns organization.
Be patient. Just wait. They will not let you down. They are an accident waiting to happen.
Literally, they have been known to choke and to not make the playoffs and be an embarrassment, and they just fall short. However,
that's what I was waiting on.
This week, seeing how well they went up against Dallas and the barn burner they decided to light in Dallas and literally set Jerry World on fire, I am going to go woof with them Browns this week. Give me Cleveland. Because Cleveland rocks this week.
Okay, I don't know about that, but let's go ahead and keep it moving. Chargers Saints Monday Night Football.
Are we forgetting some games here?
Yeah, I got them. They're just in a different column. I'm just working down my list that I got here. Let's go Chargers Saints Monday Night Football, and we have. Justin Herbert had a really good showing, and he really has. He's played pretty well since he checked in. You think he was going to be a bust or something?
I didn't think he would be ready just right out the gate.
Is this our Monday's our normal tiebreaker?
Understandable,
right?
Yes, I believe so. Actually, let's save that for the end, considering that's the one that we do our scores on. Because that's the one we do our predictions. We save that one for the end. So I'll save that one for the end. Let's skip that one, and then we will roll into, let's go to my list here. We'll roll into Bills and Titans, which is in complete jeopardy. We'll guess anyway for the sake of it, but because of COVID-19, Corey Davis got placed on the COVID-19 reserve list today, along with I want to say 5 or 6 other players. So they're hit by COVID pretty hard right now. But for the sake of it, just like we did last week with the other. Let's go ahead and we'll pick this game just to have it on record in case it actually happens, in case it gets rescheduled for another time. SnowMan, let's start with you. We have Titans and Bills. Who do you have in this one?
Well, I mean, this is the battle of the first place teams right now. Titans 3-0. You got the Bills 3 or 4-0 right now. Titans coming off of their now official bye week with, the unintentional getting COVID, and the fact that while the Titans are coming off of this week, rest week, but because of the COVID situation and losing some players to this, I would have normally gone swords up with my pick, but because of everything that's happening with the Titans, I will be just.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
And I'm rolling with them Bills, so circle the wagons.
Yes, sir. I'm going to circle those wagons with you. I believe in the Bills this year. They're going to do pretty well, except for when they face Seattle. But I will say Buffalo wins this game. The Titans have too many things going on in their locker room with their organization. I think it's going to distract them a little bit from playing the best football that they can play. So I'm going to roll with Buffalo in this one. Cam, what about you?
Yeah.
If the Titans wouldn't have broken protocol, I probably would have picked them to win, but they just couldn't get out their own way. So I'm gonna circle the wagons as well. I've been Buffalo from day one, so yeah, give me those Bills.
Yeah. Okay, we're all in agreement on that one. Next, we have Cincinnati taking on Baltimore. Lamar Jackson's nursing a little bit of a knee thing going on. There's for some reason there's no there's no line on this one, and I think what it is there might be some COVID stuff going on as well. Who knows? But Cincinnati traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Cam, who do you have in this one?
Man, I felt like doing something really crazy, but nah. Give it the Ravens. I'm kidding. Give it the Ravens over the Bengals.
All right, Snow, who you got?
Oh yeah?
Well, I'm just kidding. I'm
Oh.
going Baltimore. There's no way I'm looking at that and like I'm not picking Cincinnati. It's Baltimore. It's Lamar Jackson. He is 7-1 against an AFC North opponents. So that is a good omen. And it's a 3-1 Baltimore team taking on a 1-2-1 team. A 1-2-1 Cincinnati team. This would be this would be next week's. If this happens, I am instantly nominating this as our LOL moment of the week. If Cincinnati beats the Ravens
They're
by
not
any
that
amount,
bad, though. That's weird.
But-
They're not that bad.
but still, a 2-1 and one, a 1-2-1 team beating a 3-1. Give me the Ravens.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Ravens. I think there's maybe 3 teams in the AFC that are capable of beating the Ravens right now. Chiefs being one, Titans being the other, and I can't even think of the third one. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of teams that I don't even know if there's a third team for that matter. But I got the Ravens in this one. I think they're from top to bottom roster wise, they're just stacked so much better than Cincinnati is these days. So I'll take Baltimore in this one. Let's move on. Next game, Raiders Chiefs, noon time slot. This has potential to be a pretty good game. I'm going to back off of the Las Vegas Raiders in this one. I think I've been screwing up their mojo because when I started riding with them, picking them, they were 2-0, and now they're 2-2. So I'm gonna revert back to kind of what I was doing before. I'm gonna take the Chiefs in this one. There is no line because a lot of people think that maybe Pat Mahomes ends up testing positive for COVID because
he's in the picture as well.
Yes, Adam Schefter posted a picture of Stephon Gilmore, who tested positive for COVID-19, literally face to face, within inches away from Pat Mahomes' face, on Monday night. And so
Bill Belichick like this.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one. I think they have a lot of firepower. And I'm just trying to reverse the evil juju that I've somehow put on the Raiders. If the Raiders lose this week, maybe next week I'll choose them depending on who they play. But I feel like I've screwed up their mojo, and that kind of makes me sick because I was riding with them the last couple of weeks. But let's go Snow. Snow, who you got in this one?
This is real tough for me. Because while the Raiders have been looking good this season, the fact that KC has just been, tearing it up, literally, they've been tearing up 4-0 right now, and Patrick Mahomes is 13-1 career-wise against AFC West opponents. I so want to be riding with the Raiders on this pick. But seeing how this is a business decision, not an emotional one, because of how Casey's been looking, I haven't seen anything that would give me falter to look the other way and go against the Chiefs. So give me the Chiefs for this week.
All right, Cam, what about you?
Man, I feel like we all want to pick the Raiders. Like something in my body is screaming the Raiders can do it. I just don't trust the
Right.
Raiders defense.
It's just
Because
something.
you can run on Kansas City, and you got Josh Jacobs coming to town, baby. I mean, the Patriots showed you, like, hey, you can run the ball and you can get to the red zone running the
Lord, I
ball.
need help. Lord, I need help. Lord, I need help. Lord, I need help.
What happened?
Mama Snow's in the house because he screwed up. He screwed up. But
It's a business decision, though. So give me the Chiefs, but I'll be so happy if the Raiders win.
me too. I would be actually over the moon because I think people overhype Kansas City way too much.
Oh yeah.
Just a business decision.
But let's go ahead. Let's move to the next. We have Eagles taking on the Steelers, noon time slot. Let's see. Eagles and Steelers. Pittsburgh favored by 7 points. Over under 44. Pittsburgh is undefeated at 3-0. Eagles, of course, at 1-2-1, sitting at the top of the garbage NFC East. In this one, Ben Roethlisberger this week has actually came out and said that he felt like the Steelers got the short end of the stick with all the COVID stuff with the Titans because they were supposed to play the Titans this last week. And he feels like as a team offensively, they're really just getting into their groove and getting going. Cam, if Pop sees this and you go against Pittsburgh, he's going to probably be all over you. But go ahead. Tell me who you got in this one.
Why would I do that? They're playing the worst quarterback in the NFL, and Carson Wentz. He's so bad. No, give me the Steelers. Boy, Carson Wentz is going to be in for a field day. Look here, T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree. They're. I'm pretty sure since they didn't play last week, they're itching to just be able to rush a passer, and so Carson Wentz is going to be in for a long day.
Send help.
Give me those Steelers over the Eagles.
How's this work? How's it work?
Okay. So I think in this one, I'm right there with you, Cam. I'm going to go ahead and roll with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. They're 3-0. Juju's on that COVID-19 list, whatever's going on, so he's in trouble. No fire, please. But I'm going to go ahead and roll with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. I think they're going to take care of business. Philly's as banged up as they come. And so it's not really an issue. But Snow, go ahead. Who you got? Oh, Snow's in trouble. He got shut down. That's okay though. We're going to go with we're going to go. We both went with Pittsburgh.
You went.
I think you're going Pittsburgh.
Give me Pitt.
Okay, he's going with Pittsburgh. His mother is probably killing him. And so not a big deal, but let's go ahead and move to the next game, Cam. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
He said not a big deal.
Next game we have Dolphins 49ers. 3:05 time slot there. Dolphins and 49ers. Let me get to that game. There's no there's no line on that one for some reason. I'm not sure.
49ers. Jimmy G's coming back.
Yeah, Jimmy G's practicing this week. So we'll see. Dolphins 1-3. 49ers 2-2. Let's go ahead. Snow, tell me who you got in this one.
Niners and Dolphins.
Yes.
This one is going to be a very interesting game. I'll give it that. I mean, you got the 2-2 Niners and the Dolphins looking a lot better, a little bit. Miami has beaten the Dolphins 3 out of the last 4 times against San Francisco. So while I want to do the smart business decision and roll with the Niners, The Dolphins, on the other hand, have kind of been a little bit impressive. I mean, they held their own with the Seahawks. They literally forced the Seahawks to defense again to bend but not break, and they're kind of that thorn in everyone's side right now. Early in the season, they're that thorn that everyone just can't seem to get off of. But I'm still going to go with the smart business decision. Give me the Niners.
Cam, what about you?
Give me the Niners as well. I'm not sure who's gonna start. I don't know if Beathard's gonna start. Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins had a bad week last week, and then CJ Beathard almost got the dub. Like he almost came back. Still though, yeah, give me the Niners over the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm there with both of you guys. I'm going to take the Niners over the Dolphins. I think there's a chance that Jimmy Garoppolo plays, and I think if he plays, then he will kind of help get this team going on the right track. They're still pretty Snow, are they in last place in the division? Did I see that correctly? They're either in third or fourth place, the Niners.
Niners are last.
They're down.
So they are tied.
Yeah,
they're last because of they have a 1-loss division record.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead to the next game. We have Broncos Patriots 325. Like I said, Gilmore tested positive for COVID-19. Looks like Philip Lindsay's going to come back this week and play for the Broncos. He was on that short-term IR, so they kind of can do that double package they like to do with Freeman and with Philip Lindsay. And they, I don't know if Melvin Gordon is hurt still or not, but they have a nice little stable of running backs they can wheel out there. But Cam, who you got in this one, Patriots or Broncos?
History has taught me never go against Bill Belichick, especially against a quarterback that's not really a starting quarterback. And Brett Ripien is going to find a way to throw some interceptions because he gave 3 interceptions to the Jets. So give me New England over Denver.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that there's no way on earth that Bill Belichick is going to lose 2 games in a row. And so I'm going to take New England in this one. They're going to make old Brett Rippon look kind of suspect this week. He looked decent last week, but yeah, like you said, throwing those interceptions and all those things. So, SnowMan, what about you?
Easiest choice. Give me the Pats. Give me that musket. Broncos 1-3, Pats 2-2. This is going to be a 3-2 Pats at the end of week 5.
All right.
Okay, let's go ahead and move into Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football sees the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. The over-under's 57. Seattle's favored by 7. Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll in their careers have never lost to the Minnesota Vikings ever. That's in 6-0. 6-0. Last year made it 6-0. One of those was a playoff game and freezing cold game in Minnesota. If you remember, old Blair Walsh shanked a game-winning field goal at the very end. I think Seattle ended up winning that game like 10-9 or something like that. It was pretty crazy. Minnesota's defense was on top of their game on that day. But anyway, let me start here. I'm going to take Seattle, as you might have expected. 6-0 against Minnesota. Minnesota's 1-3. They're 1-1 away. And so they're not good. Like, understand that. They're not good. They have the kid Justin Jefferson playing receiver who's very good. Adam Thielen can sprinkle in there. Dalvin Cook has seemed to kind of wake up over the last couple of games, but still not enough. Seattle's the 3rd ranked best run defense in the National Football League, and they just added Damon Snacks Harrison, who could potentially play this Sunday. Who knows?
Oh wait, they signed him.
So, yes, they did sign him. He was on the practice field today.
Almost knocked everything off this table here. I'm mad now.
Yes, they did officially sign him, and he went to the practice squad, and so a lot of people were really mad, but that was just a precaution as they kind of are teaching him a few things and all that stuff. But there's a real chance that he plays this Sunday. So give me Seattle. Cam, who you got?
Give me Seattle. I don't like nothing that Minnesota's doing right now. They just look bad, and so give me Seattle. Not even close.
I don't even think I need to say anything about what my pick's going to be. I mean, heck, the Vikings are still drinking, trying to forget their 1999 NFC Championship game. Damn! NFC 99 NFC Championship game? Yeah. Damn it.
Gary Anderson shanked it left, I believe.
Oh, man, that's way back, dude.
Yeah. Yes.
And they're also still drinking to forget that playoff game against the Seattle Seahawks. Left again. But again, 6-0 against the Vikings, including the playoffs. You got, and we're at home. Seahawks all the way.
All the way.
Okay, well, that brings us to our last game of the week, which is Monday Night Football. We will need some score predictions on this one. Chargers 1-3. Taking on the 2-2 Saints. New Orleans is favored by 7.5. The over/under is 50.5. Let's go with Snow first.
It's a trap.
Yeah, this is the trap game right here.
Trap.
Because the Saints 2-2, the Chargers sitting at a low 1-3. It's going to be a good game. The Chargers may or may not have deserved to get that 1-3 spot, maybe a 2-2 at least. The Saints, same. They should be, 2-2. So this is going to be a close game, to say the least. This is going to be the trap game. I mean, literally, I wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting here next week, week 6, and it's going to come down again for the third week in a row to the Monday night tiebreaker pick to break the tie. So, to say the least, the smart decision would be the Chargers, of how they're, they've been looking good. To pick the Chargers as a good bet. Not so fast, my friend. I'm rolling with them Saints because they're going to be marching in on Monday Night Football.
Okay.
And it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. I'm going to go with the score of, I want to go, you know what? I'm going to save my bet like last week. I'm going to go 34-26.
Okay, Cam, what about you?
Oh, wait. I almost went Chargers. I thought about it. I was going to, but then I realized Austin Eckler's out. And so, dang it. Yeah, give me. Oh, it's a trap game, but give me the Saints. I'm going to say 28-24 Saints.
Okay.
I will go with the Los Angeles Chargers in this one. I think Drew Brees is declining. He's got that he's got that late Peyton Manning arm thing going on where he can't throw the ball. We don't know what Michael Thomas's situation is. We do know that Alvin Kamara is taking care of business. He's great. But we're talking about a Chargers team that is a very good defense. You got Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa on the D line. I think their defense is underrated, and people aren't realizing kind of what is going on with their defense and how good they actually are. Justin Herbert seems to want to air that thing out. He does not care. He's throwing it all over the place. I'm going to go Chargers on this one, 27-24 over the New Orleans Saints.
I'm not mad at that pick at all, man.
Okay, before we officially close this out, I just need to point this out for the viewers and for us. With that pick, Mike, myself, and Cowboy Cam all have one different game combined. So Mike chose Chargers for the Monday night game. I have chosen, for a different pick. I chose Cleveland, and Cowboy Cam, you chose Houston. Otherwise, every single pick we've made, we were all together. So we all chose the same thing. So we each have 3 different picks, 3 different horses that are going to get us the victory.
Give me the victory. That's what this.
I just want to point that out.
The victory. That's what you meant.
We have 3 different horses that we have to be looking out for to hopefully get us the victory. So it's going to be a very, very interesting week 5 for your boys here at the Flex Network.
Yes, it will be a tight race once again. But as we close out the show tonight, I want to just remind everyone, if you want to follow us on social media, give us a follow on YouTube. Go to YouTube and just search the Flex Network. We will pop up there. Hit that subscribe button. You can click the bell, turn notifications on, so every time we go live, something pops up there for you. Sends a notification straight to your phone or your desktop or whatever. Follow Cowboy Cam on Facebook. He has his own page, Cowboy Cam. He is there pretty much every day of the week. Follow him on Twitter at CowboyCam11 on Twitter. The SnowMan, you can follow him on the Flex Network wrestling account, FlexNet_PW Elite Wrestling, Thursday nights. He will be live on the Flex Network Wrestling Twitter page and YouTube at the same time. And Facebook, I believe. Are you doing Facebook as well? I believe you are.
Yep, I'm on that Facebook. I'm on that Twitter, and I'm on that YouTube for the show.
Yeah, so he will be live there. You can follow me, FlexMike at FlexMike11 on Twitter, at the Flex Network 1 on Twitter, our main Twitter social account. You can find the Flex Network on Instagram as well. We are all over the place, and we got some things coming up. But Twitter, if you have any start-sit questions, fantasy football-wise, you don't know who to put in your lineups, look at Twitter. Our guys, Flex Matt, Flex Shane, at Alan Seslowski on Twitter. All of those guys are there. And they're dropping knowledge every day. They are guys who are always in the mix for their fantasy football league championships every single year. So if you have legit fantasy football questions, go there. They will help you win your league. They will help you win some money. So as for me, Flex Mike, SnowMan next to me, and Cowboy Cam below us, we will catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.